So concentration and bringing your practice plan to your match play. Now that's something that a lot of you are keen on understanding and learning a bit better, aren't you? We just were talking about Federer today, won the 15th major championship just half an hour ago or so, wasn't it? Now, he's been quoted as, or other people are quoted as saying he's the strongest mentally in the whole game, along with Nadal. They just never give up. And it's that making that decision in advance never to give up. And if you can do that and say, well, no matter how bad it is, in advance of the match, no matter how bad it is, even if I'm losing 4-0, I'm going to give every ball 100%, just to practice my mind muscle, you see. Even if you're convinced you're going to lose the match, it doesn't mean you can't try 100%, does it? Because you can still give it everything. Just to prevent your mind muscle getting weaker, if you want to think of it that way. And even if you're 9-0 in front, that's a great opportunity to practice giving every ball 100%, even when there's a very big reason not to. And that is the strength that you need to bring, not only in snooker but in life. If you can have that skill, I think in life it will help you a lot. And then you, in a way, you use snooker to improve your mind skill, rather than improving your mind skill to improve your snooker. Because your mind skill in life is much more important than this game. Well, maybe. So that is so important to make that decision in advance. I think, I remember people used to say, I need to play somebody better than me. Why? So I can get better. So that means if they play you, they'll get worse. And that means the #1 player in the world will always get worse, because he's playing players worse than him. It doesn't work like that, because if you're strong enough mentally, even if you play players lower than you, you're not going to get worse. And, I mean, obviously there's such a thing as match sharpness and the fluency of playing the correct shot. That's slightly different, but mental strength, the mental discipline on every ball, you don't need to not play a bad player or have to play a good player to have very good mental discipline on every ball. I remember when I used to love personally destroying people on the table, and yeah, I love it. I really love it. Shouldn't have this on tape really, but I'm really sadistic on the table. And I remember I had a friend of mine, and I was 2-0 up, and he didn't pot one ball in 2 frames, best of 5 it was. And I was something like 56 in front, 58 in front with 4 reds left, and in the next frame. And I missed this easy red to basically win the match, and without him potting 1 ball or scoring 1 point. And I missed it, and I was so angry because I missed, the red was over the clock. He potted 1 ball. It was very inconsiderate. But I was so annoyed because I just loved the concept of destroying people. Yeah? So,
bad thing for a coach, really.
Well, yeah, when I was a player, I mean.
That gives you that edge. It's a winning mentality. Yeah, that's what you should play.
Yeah. Yeah, another friend of mine, I beat him 27-0. I love that. But it's finding a reason to do that, because why try when you've won 18, 19, 20 frames in a row? Why keep on trying? Because, well, it's the challenge, isn't it, of how far you can go without dropping your guard, without dropping mental concentration. Yeah? And that's something that I think everyone can work on. We can all work on having that discipline. And my last year competing, which was UK Tour, 97, 98, I remember that 1 year, I'd really got quite strong at concentration by then. And I remember 1 year, all my matches at the UK Tour, it was 25 matches or whatever it was, not one shot in the whole year was loose. In other words, every single ball paid 100% attention to it, made made the correct shot selection, approached the shot properly, took care. If my mind was drifting, at least I was aware that it was drifting. Did my best to keep my eyes on the road ahead. And there wasn't one ball where I just was lazy and quit and well done. So I was really proud of that because it.
No regrets.
Yes, yeah, that's the other way of looking at it. If you've given absolutely everything on every ball, you know that you'll never have any regrets. So you can make that decision in advance, and you'll know even if you get hammered that you did everything you can, and that even if you win very easily, it means you see your true standard, and also your mind can switch off just because it could do. It's like the marathon runner being 2 hours or 200 metres, 300 metres in front of everybody else and just switching off and slowing down. Wouldn't make sense, would it? And then of course you've got the other thing where you've got thoughts in your head, the funny thoughts. Well, the thing about that is that I spent 10 years trying to switch off all my thoughts, which is probably why I was quite weird at the Oxford Club that we used to play at. I was trying to switch
quite
off.
open about your thoughts, actually, to be fair.
But I was trying to turn off all the undesirable thoughts, but you can't do that. You're a human being. It's like going outside and expecting there to be no wind or no draft or anything. It's like thoughts are just. We're in a sea of thoughts, aren't we? We are thoughts. So the thing that I learned eventually was to honour them, and you don't have to shake hands with everyone or beat everyone into a pulp or lock it into a box and throw away the key or resist it or stop it coming in. Allow all the thoughts and emotions to come in and just let them float away. Some might hang around for a bit, sit down, have a rest, have a cup of tea, but then eventually they go. Because the other way of looking at it is that you can't hold one thought in your mind forever anyway. So no matter how distracting the thought is, eventually it's going to disappear from your mind. If not, when you go to sleep that night. So it's impossible to keep one thought or distraction in your mind anyway. They all disappear eventually. And I think that's important, to honour your thoughts and not resist them. And then what you can do is, it's like the club. Like if you're playing a game, someone's maybe talking over there, the music's going, someone else puts the rest in the table. You get these noises, disturbances, distractions, don't you? Well, what do? You don't just go over and find the guy making a noise over there or break the rest that's gone into the table loudly, do you? You accept it and just do your best to keep your concentration on the ball you're playing, yeah? So, I think the thoughts in your head are almost like the noises in the club. They're there, they're never going to disappear, and it's playing in spite of them, I think, is the real key. A friend of mine, we were in World Championships in Jordan. A friend of mine said, Nick, I've got a problem and I've got all these thoughts coming in my head, and I sort of said more or less what I've said to you now. But he only had like 1 or 2 minutes and he had to go. He said, I've got match tomorrow, what do I do? I dragged him over and said, look, condense what I said to you there, and just said, you don't have to grab onto the thoughts, let them come in and go out. And the next day, he made his first 147, and it was in the tournament as well. First competitive maximum as well. And he said, oh, well, that's great, because those last thoughts on the last colours were like really powerful distractions, but okay, I just let them come in and go out, and I was able to concentrate on the balls. It's very easy to relate to our thoughts and our emotions, but you are not your thoughts and you're not your emotions. Because you create your thoughts and your emotions. So you can't be your thoughts and your emotions. You create them. And